Although the Dreamcast port of Half-Life was cancelled, a PS2 port was released on November 14, 2001, nearly 3 years after Half-Life's original release. Gearbox began developing the port in 2000 alongside the Dreamcast version, and it contained several changes that the Dreamcast port was to have. The port features another HD model pack with more improvements over the original models, with an even higher polygon count, eye tracking, facial expressions, and separated fingers. It also patched several bugs from both the PC and Dreamcast versions, added a head-to-head deathmatch mode, and featured a co-op multiplayer campaign called Half-Life Decay. Decay was a PS2 exclusive campaign for a couple of years, and while Gearbox completed a PC version, it was never released for unknown reasons. However, a group of Ukrainian developers led by Vyacheslav Zura, Denis Zitov, and Hyri Yurtikul worked on an unofficial mod that brought Decay to the PC in 2008. This mod is a mostly faithful recreation built from the PS2 game's assets and allows for online co-op play, something the original version lacked. I'll be playing the PC mod for this video since I don't currently own the PS2 port, alongside my brother Matt, who I want to thank for tagging along with me for this playthrough. Matt's been a tremendous help for this channel since it began, and I wanted to make sure he got the credit he deserves for playing Decay with me. He doesn't have anything for me to plug, but I had to give him this shout out at the very least. Okay, let's begin. Contrary to the previous games, Half-Life Decay contains a series of missions that loosely combine to make an overarching story. Decay stars Doctors Colette Green and Gina Cross, who arrive at Black Mesa on the day of the Resonance Cascade, and as you already know, everything goes awry. Green and Cross help Dr. Rosenberg establish a satellite uplink in order to contact the military, which we can assume is how he wound up captured in Blue Shift. And then the two are sent to help Dr. Keller stop the effects of the Resonance Cascade. Keller realizes the only way to potentially stop the disaster is to create a resonance reversal, essentially creating a second resonance cascade that will counter the original's effects. To do this, Green and Cross complete a series of tasks, including launching a satellite, raising a displacement beacon, and activating a beam matrix to power the system. After the Doctors defend the beacon from the aliens, they get caught in a harmonic reflux caused by Barney Calhoun teleporting out of the facility at the exact same time. Once they escape, Keller reveals the mission was a success, and that's where the story ends. Decay employs the same narrative techniques as the previous games, but it doesn't fully modify them to fit the co-op gameplay. Much like Blue Shift, the game uses dialogue rather than scripted events to tell the story, which makes sense considering the game needs to account for two players triggering events. But this requires a lot of patience from both you and your partner to stop and pay attention to characters as they talk, which will not appeal to everybody. That extends to the gameplay as well, which compared to other co-op games, isn't super great. As a Half-Life expansion, it's best to think of Decay as a series of larger, loosely connected maps rather than one large campaign. Missions typically don't last longer than 15 to 20 minutes if you know what you're doing, but Decay has some of the most confusing level design of the entire series, since maps are less linear and more sprawling without giving you a good sense of direction. In many ways, the design harkens back to shooters like Wolfenstein and Doom, which is fine conceptually, but it doesn't work that well here. Many objectives aren't very clear, and the problem isn't so much knowing what you have to do, but knowing what the next step is and where you activate it. Meaning progression doesn't feel as natural as it did in the previous games. There are 9 main story missions, plus an extra mission where you take control of Vortigaunt sent by the Nihilymph to recover Zen crystals. When playing as a Vortigaunt, you can slash foes with your arms or charge up a lightning attack that saps health from enemies. It's an interesting idea, but not one that's fun to use for more than one mission. As for the co-op gameplay itself, it's alright. You and your teammate are given a set weapon selection when a mission begins, and can pick up ammo, health, armor, and new weapons as you play. Weapons are character locked, so it's impossible for one player to pick up 2 of the same gun and leave the other player empty-handed. But other resources are shared between players, so you need to coordinate who gets to pick up what, or else one player will just hog all the rewards. Often, both players will have to split up, accomplishing separate tasks in different areas, though this usually devolves to one person waiting while the other does all the work. That's my biggest gripe with Decay, the amount of standing around players need to do. Not only is it not fun for the player left behind, but it often means that the active player collects ammo and health pickups that the other might desperately need. During our playthrough, my brother and I also encountered a handful of game-breaking bugs that forced us to restart the mission, which is not frustrating at all. I'm not sure whether to blame the PC port, Gearbox's coding, or the Half-Life engine, but Decay definitely gave me the most grief when it came to glitches for this retrospective so far. Maybe Decay has just as many bugs as the others, but since it doesn't have quick saves, a major glitch will erase much more progress. If one player dies or you harm a friendly NPC, the mission fails and you have to restart from the beginning, so you need to be careful not to take too much damage or hurt the other player. Decay lacks the balance between players that makes co-op games work, and it's very easy to have one player do every major task in a mission while the other slags behind them. It is possible to play Decay solo by switching between Cross and Green, but you can probably imagine that this isn't the best way to play. Many objectives are time sensitive, so the time you waste switching to the other character makes it difficult to get through on your own. Plus, the character you aren't currently controlling doesn't move, so when you need both characters, you have to travel through a section of the map twice. The game includes AI for non-controlled characters so they'll defend themselves from enemies, which is meant to stop the mission from failing if that character is swarmed by attackers. But their aim is awful, and I don't know if there's a way to increase the bot's intelligence. Playing Decay by yourself is not enjoyable, but playing with a friend can, and I must stress can, be a good time. I don't think Decay works very well as a co-op game, but if you have the right person to play with, it can be a decent experience. My brother and I are both fans of the Half-Life series, and we managed to have some fun despite it being somewhat of a disaster. But I can't recommend Decay unless both players like Half-Life, since you need to deal with Half-Life's game design and its quirky engine, which both work against the co-op gameplay. Valve would later perfect the co-op FPS with Left 4 Dead and Portal 2, which are much more refined and worthwhile games. And the mods Sven Co-op and Synergy provide much better co-op Half-Life experiences than Decay does, even without a new story and new levels. However, I knew this video would be pretty short, so I compiled a highlight reel of my brother and I playing through Decay for your entertainment. Side note, I forgot to record my mic while we were playing, meaning I had to recreate my commentary in post, so if my reactions sound unnatural, well, that's because they are. Hope you enjoy, and I'll see you in the Half-Life 2 video. Yeah, this thing is not working right. I think the map might have glitched out.
Did I do something wrong? Did I break it already?
Yeah, you broke it. We're not even 2 minutes in already. Matt, you're standing right in the middle of this conversation.
Yeah? And?
You can't do that. You're gonna ruin the narrative.
Do you want me to type kill on the console again?
I'd prefer if you didn't.
Then let me ruin the narrative. I'm gonna ruin your footage.
You're doing an A+ job already.
What happens if I kill these guys?
Yeah, the mission restarts.
That was an accident.
What did I just tell you?
I wanted to like hit their control table, and apparently somehow I missed that.
Don't shoot him.
It's alright, I have 300 bullets.
How do you have 300 bullets?
I think that's 300? I don't know. Oh, you're floating.
I only have like 50 bullets.
Nice. Do we jump?
I don't think we jump. Hang on, let's figure this out.
We don't jump.
Matt, you shouldn't be over there.
Okay, I wanted to get in the car.
Do I press this now?
Oh, fuck. Boy!
I'm sorry.
Why? I think you were supposed to get on that.
Uh-oh.
Why am I taking damage? Help.
Are you stuck?
Yes. Bruh. Now you're taking damage?
You bastard!
Oh, now it moves.
Yeah, it moves now because it's not stuck on my body anymore.
You died again. come on. Don't make me shoot near you.
Oh, good. Now he's just gonna do this forever.
That didn't end the mission?
Oops, I'm sorry. That was my fault. Jesus Christ, man. I'm at 15 health right now.
Yeah, I know, I saw.
You're a fucking prick, you know that.
Alright, that's what you get for shooting me as I walked past you, alright? Do you really think I'm that good of a co-op partner, alright? I don't think we're like legally allowed to co-op Valve games. And shh. Oh, he moved this time.
Oh, he dodged it.
He learned after the first 5 times. Alright. We made it through.
That was an accident. Do not shoot me this time.
Yeah. Now we got grenades. That's dangerous. How long does Half-Life 1 allow you to cook grenades?
Like 3 to 5 seconds. You can hold it for as long as you want, but if you let go after 5 seconds, you'll just blow up.
Cool, I'm just holding left click.
Alright, well, I'm walking over here then.
I wanted it to explode in my hand.
Where are you going?
Cool. You can jump off it. I thought that'd be an invisible wall or something. I see you holding a grenade out.
No, I'm not doing anything. See? Oh, he's still alive.
You fool.
Here, let me open the door for you.
Okay.
Now you can come in here and grab the guns and ammo and whatnot. Get your ass in here.
I was unwrapping my Snickers. Why'd you run away from me?
Because I saw you pull out the grenade.
You know I can hold it forever. I didn't even die. That hurts. Don't go in there. That should have been obvious, but don't go in there.
Did you just push him into the corner?
No.
Are you intimidating him?
Do you want me to intimidate him?
You can't bully that man. He's in a wheelchair.
I'll bully people regardless of if they have a wheelchair.
Okay, well that's going in the video.
It's going in the highlight reel. I don't discriminate against people in wheelchairs, alright? They don't get a free pass. I'm so bad at aiming right now. Oh god. I alt tabbed and now my mouse is stuck. I can't close out of the Madagascar wiki. When you were looking at trying to get the server set up, I was just on the Madagascar wiki. So I just alt tabbed and I just saw Moto. Don't ask why I was on the Madagascar wiki.
Matt, you just took all of my stuff. That was for me.
Not anymore.
You jerk.
Do you want to I was gonna cook a grenade.
I killed that man because you took my stuff.
I see that. That's not very nice. Alright, it's not nice to kill people. Alright, it's not nice to kill people.